What's up, traders? It's Tim from Volatility Trading, and we're here for this past week's top 10. Let's get to it. All right, as always, we're not doing this in any particular order. We're just starting from the beginning of the week, and we're going to the end of the week. So, at number 10, SUPV. This stock was great right at the bell. As you can see, we started to get a little bit of a dump off. She tried to go back up and gave us a nice big dump off, and here was where our alert was, right in here, and it came all the way down here for a nice scoop. And as you can see, it got all the way down to around 270, and she climbed pretty much all the way back up here to 420. So, and it never really gave you a reason to get out after that. I mean, she tried to come back down, but she made a nice little higher low, and she just continued to ascend. And this was just an absolute beauty to start the week. All right, coming in at number 9, BMA. Right at the bell, not right at the bell, a couple minutes after, she gave us a huge washout, decided to continue a little bit, and she came all the way down here. Let's see where we were at. We got all the way down to $31, used a nice whole dollar as support, and she decided to climb all the way back up here into around $41. A nice 10-point range, buying the scoop. Just, wow. I mean, these are the types of plays that you look for. Coming in at number 8, MTC. We're going to see this one a couple more throughout the remainder of this. But man, this is the day that it all got started. She started to kind of just ascend up real nice and slow, kind of grind on not a lot of volume. And then out of nowhere, right around 11, right before 11 o'clock, she really started to get some volume coming in. And she was just making some moves. Pretty much went straight up, grinded up, and then made a nice intense move, extended away from VWAP here. And we ended up getting all the way up to 917. So up here at 917, she consolidated for a little bit and then dumped off all the way down here to, got a nice little washout down here to under 7 to 677. So you had opportunities on both sides here to go short, and then you could have got in somewhere over 9 and then got all the way down to 755. She consolidated a little bit, dropped all the way down to 716 on a big intense move. Could have looked for the wash here and then made a huge intense move up. And if you got any part of this, you actually got up to 10, used the big $10 whole dollar resistance area, and she started to form a little bit of a bull flag there, and she decided to go through, and then she kind of just ascended up using a nice ascending trend line here. We could draw that out real quick, and you can kind of see it there. And then she took off, and then another big, intense move all the way up to 1335. So if you could have got any piece of that over 13, even in the 12 area, she decided to come down, kind of form a descending triangle, and then dump all the way down here to 1030 from over 13. And then she formed another descending triangle here and just continued down with a big, intense move. And again, if you caught this big, intense move down, all the way down to 1030, if you could have scooped that up, it went right back up to 1226, all within 2 minutes. Just tons of opportunity here on MTC. It was on lower volume, was a bit spready, but it was on the scanner all day, giving you these opportunities. And it wasn't the first time, or it was the first time this week, and it definitely wasn't the last. So let's move on to 7. All right, so number 7, we got YRIV. This thing decided to try to climb up a little bit in the pre-market, and then right at the bell, she gave us a nice big pop up to 145. Now, the range on this stock wasn't that great, but she did go right up to that 150 area, which is a major point of resistance, just using the $0.50 there. And she decided to just dump off the rest of the day. I mean, you did get these huge, intense moves down that did come up on the scanner. So, I mean, again, we got down to 126, and it gave you room to get out at 134. So not all of these plays are going to be perfect. We all know that. These charts, the scanners are designed to get you into these charts a little bit early. And again, if you brought this one up right when the scanner went off here as it broke high of day at 130, it gave you plenty of opportunity to get in up there towards 145 as the candle closed up towards there. And she even gave you a second opportunity up here, just kind of resisting that same area before she decided to dump off. And, you know, if you got part of this dump off, you know, it gave you time to get out. So But this thing was definitely more of a short. As you can see, got in anywhere up over 140, came all the way down here to around $1 if you could ride it down. But every time you get these intense moves, look at what it does. You get a big intense move and rubber bands back up. Big intense move, rubber bands back up. Big intense move, rubber bands back up. So that's what we're looking for. The stronger the move, the weaker the trend. It's that simple. So nice move here on YRV. Let's move on to the next one. All right, coming in at number 6, we're back to MTC. So MTC on 8/14. As you remember that day before, it was a big mover up, and then look at what it did in the after hours. This thing was up on the bear scam watch list, and it just was an absolute beauty. As you can see, the volume completely died off in the after hours. She gapped down and just still on no volume coming into the open. And sure enough, we actually got a little bit of a pop right at the open, and then this thing just absolutely flushed. Exactly what the bear scam watch list is looking for. The big movers the previous day tends to die off, lose its intensity overnight, and then coming into the next trading day, we're just looking for the big flush because everybody kind of gave up on it. And that's exactly what this thing did. And if you're looking for the pop and drop right off the bell on these bear scan plays, it gave it to you. It popped up to 637, and then this thing dumped all the way down there to 394. Just what a play. And then as you can see, we even formed a nice little descending triangle right after that. Just an absolute beauty. And then just dumped off again. Came up and then, eventually kind of just went sideways the rest of the day. But just plenty of opportunity here on MTC at the beginning of the day on 8/14. So let's move on to the next one. Coming in at number 5, AKTX. Now, this one decided to make a nice little move in the pre-market. Even gave you opportunity if you do like to trade the pre-market, because this was a nice intense move. Wasn't on a ton of volume, but look at these candles, just nice big moves. And sure enough, we got extended away from that VWAP, and we came all the way back down. Not only tested the VWAP, but we went straight through, flush through, and again, a big flush down, intense move to the downside. Look for that scoop. She held support here and gave you opportunities to get out for some profit before continuing down a little bit. Then we got a nice little ascending triangle, I guess you could say, right here, and then right at it. Obviously, this is after the bell, and we got a huge move right here before 10 o'clock on volume, and just an absolute beautiful move up to, it looks like 270, 279. And then, sure enough, a big intense move all the way back down to 223. So again, opportunity on both sides. The big intense move up for a short, the big intense move down for a scoop. And as we know, look how quick the short was. Longs take longer, and look how long it took for the long. Had higher lows each and every time, and then we just decided to climb up, and we never really got an intense move back up, but we got some real nice movement back up from the big intense move down. So, and that was AKTX just in the beginning of the day. Going into the close, as you can see, this thing started to kind of hold support in this general area right here around 230 all day. It was there at the beginning of the day. It tried to hold it here, got back above it, and then used it the rest of the day. And sure enough, towards the end of the day, all the shorts kind of realized what was going on, and so kind of started to create a short squeeze. There was a little bit of a mini one here, the intense move back up. So if you're looking to get anywhere, what did I hit? Sorry, there we go. Got anywhere up in here. It did give you opportunity to get out before squeezing back up again. And again, big intense move right on this candle. So it gave you an opportunity to get back in again, looking for a quick flush, possibly a scalp. And all this was on the scanner every single time. And then it kind of grinded a little bit, and then boom, look at this move. Just an absolute beauty. Went all the way down here from 275 up to 335. And again, shorts take shorter, longs take longer. Look at this big move up, and then look at this huge move down. Let's see if we scroll over a little bit. I'm not sure what happens here. So we had the big massive move down. Let me clear that out because it looks a little funny. And, it kind of just died because it was in the after hours at that point. When was this candle? This candle was at 1550, so 350. So that all happened right at the bell. Just craziness at the bell, if you like that kind of thing. So AKTX gave you plenty of opportunity off the scanner all day. And let's move on to the next one. All right, number 4, RKDA. Now this thing is a little bit of a lower float. It was getting a pretty good amount of attention on this day. But as you can see, the intense moves that we got here, one was right here. Obviously our alert was 623, so right in this general area. So it was on this first candle. Looks perfect to me. You get in, and if it wants to keep going on this same move, that looks beautiful. Right into that 650 resistance area. Let's see exactly what it was. Right at 650. Absolutely beautiful. Looking to get short. Comes all the way back down here to that same area, 620, 630, before making a bigger move up. Looks like it used $7 as a resistance this time on another intense move right at $7. Man, this thing was just absolutely beautiful. Using them half dollars and whole dollars. And sure enough, we get that big intense move back down. Now this one wasn't necessarily a huge intense move back down. Kind of grinded its way down, and as you can see, that's exactly what it kept doing. Started to consolidate most of the day. Started to ascend a little bit after it found that support in this general area. And it tried to make a big move back up here as it cleared that top here. A little bit of a fake out, and then as you can see, because it was a fake out, we get a huge washout on the intense move back down here towards 550, probably using that half dollar as support. Let's see, 550 right on the money, and then got bought right back up to that 560 area, kind of consolidated, making higher lows. Attempted to wash out again, didn't quite get down there around that 560 area, and then right before the bell, it was a right before the bell kind of day on the 14th. This thing just absolutely took off. And this is one of them ones where, risk management comes into play. There's lots of different ways to play these strategies, but you should always have risk management in the back of your head. Obviously, it gave you a top here. It did come back down before going higher. So, that could be a general area that you might look to use as a key reference. Makes a big push again on a huge intense move. It gives you a nice little downfall here of about 30-40 cents before going higher. So again, another key reference point that you could use for risk management. And we make one more big push up here to 820. And then guess what? We finally get that big sell-off. Huge move down. It wasn't as intense because all this was in the after hours. But again, as you can see, it did bottom out, and we eventually get a nice low. And this thing was just absolutely nuts. But that's kind of what low floaters do, and that's why you have to have risk management in play at all times. Because as you can see, it kind of did the same thing again, giving you those key areas. Be right or be right out. So that's kind of a motto that we like to live by, and it works. So on to the next one. All right, coming in at number 3, SINT. This actually made some pretty good moves in the pre-market. Again, not on a ton of volume, however, but you can't deny these big, intense candles. One here, had a big move back down, grinded back down, big move up here in a matter of 4 minutes. Nice big move back down, kind of grind it back up again, and then this was at the bell. Got a nice huge pop up here, and we got to move down before she tried to go through. She did go through high of day. A little bit of a fake out, and then we had a huge washout. Now this is a nice intense move. Again, looking for the scoop, hold support right here, and sure enough, once people realize it's holding support, not breaking any a little bit lower, nothing better to happen than, excuse me, a little bit under the weather. Nothing better but for the shorts to start covering, and for people to start buying, realizing that we're not going lower, and that's what we get, a nice intense move on a little bit of a short squeeze, go through high of day, and we get a little bit above high of day there, and then we come all the way back down on an intense move right back down. This could be that pullback that a lot of people look for, and sure enough, it holds, goes higher again. Another pretty intense move up again. I would say the intense move kind of ended right around here, then it kind of grinded up a little bit, and then we got a huge washout. This is a nice intense move to look for another scoop, and it gives us a move right back up, and then we get another pretty big move back down. Just this thing was delivering left and right with the intense moves. As you can see, kind of, a little bit of a chop in here, and then we made a nice big intense move here. If you got anywhere, average up towards the top there, it did give you a move down. Looked like it was a little bit of a descending triangle, a bit of a fake out there, however, and it gives us a huge intense move back up. What do we know about those quick moves? It's a weak trend. And sure enough, we get a huge move right back down. It actually tries to go even lower than we were before. Again, huge opportunity to scoop up there, looking for that rubber band type effect, and that's what it gives us. Start making higher lows on this little bit of a wedge pattern. Go up there again towards high of day, gets rejected, tries again, gets through, but a little bit of fake out, and we get another washout, which then could have led to another scoop before ultimately this thing decided that it was kind of done for the day. And then we come over here. We got a huge washout here, right through VWAP. This was kind of one of them catching the fallen knife type plays, but again, on these huge intense moves, you gotta, if you do it long enough, you start to kind of see that it's not done at certain points, and you just kind of try to wait it out as best you can. Or as you see me play on my channel, you'll see, if you get in a little bit early and it just continues to make that move, okay, that's fine. Might add to our position there. And sure enough, she does give us that little bit of a pop before ultimately forming descending triangle here and falling through, making another intense move down and doing the same thing. Scoop, this one actually gives you, if you got to scoop anywhere up in this general area or below would even be better. It does come up here and gives you that opportunity to get out before it decided to continue down and kind of chop out the rest of the day. So look at all these marks, guys. Tons of intense moves on the SINT. And the scanner was just absolutely full of plays from SINT all day. It was just going off nonstop. So just an absolute beauty. And on to the next one. All right, number 2, BLIN. This decided to kind of chop in the beginning of the day. These might look like intense moves, but if you kind of look at the range, it's really not too intense, especially because of the volume. We did get a nice intense move here on volume right before 10 o'clock. She tried to make a decent move here, but we weren't really getting that extension that we look for. However, the intense moves don't lie. Every time, again, the more intense the move, the weaker the trend. So look at each time we get a big intense move, the reversal is imminent. Again, even on the big washout, it's coming right back up, and then we get this big move back up, and we get a big move back down, and then we get a big move back up, and then we get the big move back down. I mean, this one took a little bit longer, but again, when you get these intense moves, the odds are in your favor that you're going to get a reversal. That's the whole point of these scanners. The scanners get you to bring up the chart as these intense moves are happening, looking for that reversal point. So the intense move that came up on the scanner was 260. So it pulled it up right here as it looks like it went high of day. And we did, it topped out here, and it did give us a little bit of a pullback before continuing. So again, maybe high of day here is a key reference point. Comes back up, pushes through, gives us a high of day here, making another decent little pullback. And again, as she goes high of day, if you're not taking profits within this area, another key reference point. And then it kind of grinds, and then makes a nice huge move through the whole dollar mark, getting all the way up here to, it looks like 308, 311, and it gets rejected all in that same candle, coming all the way back down to this overtime 273 area. So that was the big move that you were really looking for. So if you could hold your risk, and then get in for the big one, that's what it's all about. Risk management, getting the nice big moves, keep your losers small, and get the big winners. Obviously, I'm not talking about hitting home runs. Base hits add up. That's all I'm going to say. So get a nice big move. She kind of chops around, tries to go back up, makes a lower high. Then we get a huge washout right here. What do we do with those huge washouts? We scoop them up. Especially it came right down to that key VWAP level. And sure enough, if you got anywhere around this 260 area, she decided to rise all the way back up here to around, looks like 280. But if you look at it overall, it had a nice descending triangle forming here. And look at what we got. Falls right through. Just an absolute beautiful para into a descending triangle. Just absolutely textbook. And when we get this huge flush coming through VWAP and out of that pattern of the descending triangle, we come down through 250, gets bought right back up. It does try to get back through 250 before ultimately failing. So again, these big washouts, you do get those scalp opportunities right off the scanner. This was on the scanner for sure. Actually, let me 253. So let's see, 253. So it picked it up right around in here. And again, it's designed to get you on the chart looking for that reversal. So if you pulled this up at 253 and it was falling down, you pulled it up just in time for that 250 break, looking for all that liquidity coming in on that big volume bar, and boom, there you go. And it looked like she kind of chopped out the rest of the day. So again, the scanners, everyone's saying that the market is slow, there's no opportunities. Well, look at everything you've seen so far, and especially here on BLIN, just tons of opportunity all day, just all day. I mean, from on just BLIN specifically, from 10:30 all the way till around lunchtime. And then there's always something going on, always something going on with these scanners, guys. It's just absolutely amazing. I can't toot the horn of the scanners enough. But anyways, we got one more. You'll never guess what it is. Listen to it. All right, guys, number one. No, it can't be MTC. Oh, wait, it's MTC. This thing was just a factor all week, but really just 3 out of the times it was, top 10 worthy. But as you can see here, it was kind of dead throughout the morning, and then right around lunchtime, it just said, hey, it's time to pick up. And sure enough, made a nice, decent move here, not on a lot of volume. None of this actually came up on the scanner. And then we actually got the alert on this. Make sure I got the right one, because there's two of them. This one, 520, yeah, and then 507. So probably might be easier to do it this way. 507. Come on, cooperate. So that's where we got the alert. And again, how perfect is this? Telling us, okay, bring up the chart. Here we go. We're at 507, and this thing's making its move. And we get all the way up here to 550. Tell me it used that $0.50. It got through the $0.50. That's even better. When you're making a big intense move and you get through the $0.50, that's even better, because you know that this thing's getting shoved down. So 559 right at the top. We get a nice big move back down to like the 520 area. And she tries to go back up, gets denied, doesn't even get to high of day, so you know what's coming next, the big move down. And sure enough, we get that big move down, and if you're looking, again, that's the beauty of these scanners. You get the perfect short plays, and you get these perfect long plays. If you're looking for the big dips so that you can buy them, and then you're looking for the rip back up, just a huge washout here. And then sure enough, we come all the way back up, get another huge washout, and this thing gets bought right back up, right off that same support level. It tries to go back down lower, but still makes a higher low. And because of that, as you can see, it's real slow, but there is a line there kind of going up, and sure enough, we start to extend away from it. And once we do that, once we get through that key level that we have here, as you can see, it used it as resistance twice. We get right through it, go right to the high of day line, and we bust right through it. Big intense move up to that 570 area. Plenty of opportunity to get out, realizing again we could use this as a key level, and it consolidates a little bit above that, it looks like, or right at it, and decides to go higher. So again, we get that key level of resistance. As you can see, it kept testing it. We start getting a little bit of an ascending triangle based off of that, this para move. And she tries, she gets all the way up here to 640, goes high of day, but ultimately gets shoved down off of this big intense move up to 640. Was that 622? So that was another alert that we got up on this big move. Right there. So as this was coming up, it broke that high of day, and it gave us the alert to pull the chart back up, gets up to 640, and ultimately gets shoved back down. Big intense move down, and as you can see, we're pretty far into lunchtime now, and she decided to, we got another big washout. It gave you opportunities to scoop it up, to get out. Again, looking to use this as a little bit of a risk area. Come back down, kind of grind up, tries to come back up. It actually uses that same area as resistance this time and washes out again. So looking for that scoop back up. Obviously longs take longer. Did kind of fake you out a little bit here on this candle, but again started making higher lows, and we get a nice big squeeze. And again, look at this nice resistance area. So if you got in anywhere on here and you were patient enough to use high of day as your stop, it actually didn't look like it was very good. There was a nice ascending triangle there, but it got denied. You know, they're called patterns for a reason, and you know they don't always work 100% of the time. And this is one of those times. So as you can see, if you were in on here and you had your risk management in place, you actually got rewarded with a nice big washout. And again, look at this, the big washout, the intense move. That's what we're looking for over and over again. It's down here around that 510, 515 area. It jumps all the way back up to 530, right at VWAP. And then we get the VWAP rejection, big move back down, and right back up. So as you can see, this is 510, this is 480. I mean, just tons of opportunity on this MTC all week. And again, right off of this one, we get a huge washout again. So, I mean, if you are a scalper, I mean, this chart is absolutely beautiful. Obviously a low floater too, so you have to watch the volume. But man, just tons of opportunity here. Again, it kind of chops around here a little bit. We get a big intense move up here. Does a little bit of a fake out. Tries to actually fake you out through VWAP as well, so that might have been a little bit of a tricky one. But again, on this big intense move up, we eventually do get the move back down, going into the bell. So again, just look at all of this opportunity. It's just non-stop with these scanners. I don't know what else to tell you guys. You think the market's slow? I'm going through these charts on a daily basis saying, what are you guys talking about? So if you don't want to be caught up in the summer chop, or whatever you want to call it, whatever these other places are saying about the market being slow, just come on over to ISW. We'll show you where the action's at every day, Monday through Friday, when the market's open. You know, obviously there's holidays, but yeah. So I'm Tim from Volatility Trading. Come check me out over on my channel. I show examples of these types of trades on a daily basis. And if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe on both of our channels, especially this one, because this is where the awesomeness comes from. And I will catch you guys next week. Peace.